Hi, welcome back. This is Jana from Purl Together, and on today's podcast, I am with Lindsay and Jill from Illinois. They came to Knit Night a couple weeks ago, and it was just delightful to have both of you together. It was a really fun interaction, and they mentioned something about always wanting to do a knitting podcast, so I was like, well, hey, let's do that. And they got a little excited about it. But first, I guess what I'm also always curious about is how people learn to knit. Like, how did you get started, and what was the precipitous for you to that kind of, like, it's not just, I mean, you guys knit a lot. You guys knit a lot. Obviously, it's become a passionate event in your life.
My name is Jill, and my journey with knitting, I was gifted a pair of felted clogs, and I loved them. I was actually afraid of wool because I don't wear wool very well, and I started to wear them and found that they fit my feet perfectly. They weren't too hot. They were absolutely wonderful. And I wore them so much, I wore holes through them, and I actually duct taped the bottom of them. They were a gift from, I was a principal at the time, an elementary school principal, and they were a gift from a parent. And
wow,
over the
best gift ever.
Yes. Who gifts that? I mean,
well, I think that beats the apple or the box of chocolates occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. And we became friends over the years, and she was over once and I had my slippers on and I had my feet up, and she saw the duct tape and she was mortified. She was chastising me. Why didn't why didn't you tell me that you needed a new pair of slippers? I would have been happy to knit them for you.
Why didn't you tell me? Oh, because I'm just going to ask you to spend another 20 hours making me something. Sure.
Exactly.
So it's the felted clog from Beverly, what's her name? And we'll put the link down below.
Okay. Yes. And the felted clogs. And so finally she convinced me to start knitting, and I knitted washcloths for years and years and years. And my second pair of clogs wore out, and my friend told me, okay, Jill, this is it. I'm not making you another pair. And by then I had to have them. So I needed to learn how to knit the felted clogs.
And now you've made some for everyone.
Yes.
You can
yes,
show them.
I have from the size. If you've never knit a pair of size 13 men felted clogs, it's definitely an experience, but that's love.
Oh, they're like giant clown shoes to start with. Yeah, my husband wears a 13. I know. I've made several.
Before you felt them, it's like a baby Moses basket. You could fit a baby in there. You know how they take the pictures of newborns like that with their face? You could put a newborn.
That would be so funny. You could totally use that pattern to make like a baby bunting.
Yes.
And the baby would be all burritoed up inside and then you'd felt it. And when the kids outgrown it, and you felt it.
That way.
Well,
yes.
The Moses swaddle.
Yes.
So,
And so
if you have any more kids, you could do that.
Yes. And then those are tiny ones. Actually, Lindsay knit
I made those
for my daughter because
that's cute.
Time my son had slippers and I had slippers, and so Lindsay knit them.
So you've both done it.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's my knitting story.
So that's relatively recently, though. Then.
Well, I mean, tell you why you found Jana through the clogs.
Oh my gosh, it was through the clogs. It was because every time I did the pair, because my friend said, okay, I will sit with you the whole time. We'll get it. And so the first slipper, we did it, and she was there, and she helped me. And I'm on the second slipper, and I'm all alone.
And she bailed out on you for the second one.
Well, you do it late at night. I don't know when you have a chance to knit, but you're working and then taking care of your family and then at night. And so I was trying to figure out how to do the attach the cuff.
Oh, right.
And you can find everything on YouTube.
Yes.
So I Googled YouTube felted clogs, and there you were.
And she either texted me or the next time I was over. We're over here often, so it could have very well been the next day. She was like, oh my gosh, I've found the best knitter on YouTube. And we were hooked. I mean, literally immediately.
It was exactly because I knew exactly then how to do it, and I would hit pause and you went slow enough. And actually in the felted clog tutorial you use metal needles and wooden needles, and
well, that's what I had. Yeah, that's just what I have. Yeah.
It was fantastic
because that's what she has.
Now I always know which one is which one goes on the bottom, and I can't tell you how many times I watched that video.
Oh yeah, we watched that video.
Well, I appreciate the views. So wait, Jill, show the bottom of that one.
Oh, well,
this is a new one too.
Sad. I mean,
that's love. That's love. Your husband is digging it. He wears them.
Yeah.
And are you aware that you can knit another sole for that?
The answer is no.
Okay, so this is what I have on my feet right now, and these are mine. So, wow. So tell me about that. All
right. Sometimes it's not worth it. I have done it a couple of times. I'm losing my blanket. Okay. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a total pain in the ass, and you may not think that it's worth it because you've already felted it. And so the problem here is that you're gonna have to you're gonna make another sole, and then felt it separately, and then attach it.
Oh.
So color yarn is the
that
soles that I have made already.
Well, I mean, like it doesn't matter what color.
Sole made that color already in this size.
Well, you could felt it to fit it and then sew it on.
Yeah, and then just sew it on here. I can help you with that.
But the problem is, hey, hang on a second. The problem is that you're still going to have the jaggedy, weird bits on the inside that your foot's still going to work that, and you're going to have the jaggedy, weird stuff coming off. You know what I mean? So the other option is to felt a sole insert and use it on the inside. Oh. Go ahead and duct tape the dickens out of the bottom and felt the thing that goes in the insert, like a Dr. Scholl's insert.
I thought about an insert. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. I've done that a couple times, and it'll prolong it, but eventually you'll be like, screw it, and you'll just knit another pair.
So would you say that knitting 3 soles would be worth it then? No? That's a no. That's fine. I was just curious.
It depends. I mean, if you're okay doing the duct tape thing and you just want to do some inserts, then do that. It depends how much time you have. Like if you have 17 other works in progress, then maybe you don't want to mess with making a whole nother pair of slippers, and you can knit a sole in an evening,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or the rest of it gets worn out enough that you're just done with it and you want a new color because that's what you want.
Yes, that is. Yeah. I love them.
But you could think about that anyway. Okay, Lindsay.
Okay, so my knitting story. So when I was in junior high or high school, my great grandma tried to teach me how to knit, and I was just not a good age to want a craft hobby. And so fast forward, Jill had learned to knit dishcloths, and I thought about how my great grandma, who had tried to teach me how to knit, has always knit. I shared a little bit of this in the Patreon group.
So. I know, I started crying. I'm not even kidding.
So Jill had started to learn how to knit, and my great grandma was older. I mean, this was 4 or 5 years ago. And she has always hand knit Christmas stockings for literally everyone. Not just our family, but friends, extended family, extended friends.
That was her thing.
Yeah, that was 100% her thing. And so I asked her for the patterns, and I decided that I wanted to learn how to knit because when she passed, I wanted to be able to carry on that tradition for our family and people who don't have kids yet, who have stockings that are going to want matching stockings for their kids.
Right.
So I learned to knit those, and she did pass in December around Christmas time, and so I have all of her knitting stuff that she had.
Just this Christmas?
This Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so we found records, and she had knit over 500 Christmas stockings for people. So I brought an example one.
Oh my gosh.
I
remember you showed a photograph of her.
Yeah. So at her funeral, there was a Christmas tree, and they just strung people brought their stockings to the funeral, and they just hung them.
Oh.
So that was really why I decided to knit, and then I just loved it. And so I am kind of fearless, and so I like to try
show us
projects. And so this is my Jana stocking.
Oh my gosh.
So if I have a way to get it to you, this is the stocking.
Wow. Oh my word. That's fantastic.
The great grandma Christmas stockings.
Oh, oh my gosh. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, they're all color work and
sweet.
Yeah. So.
Oh. Cute.
Yeah. So. That's
love it. And it looks big. Like I could put a lot of chocolate in that.
I mean, they are.
Or someone else can put a lot of chocolate in that.
It's huge. I remember when you were knitting it, you're like, Jill, this just doesn't.
It never
seem
stops.
Right.
It goes on forever.
Big it is.
That's great. That's so cool, Lindsay.
Yeah. So those are the Grandma Tina stockings.
Oh, that's awesome. Grandma Tina would love it.
Yes, she would. She would. She would.
She loved making for people. And I definitely love making for people.
That is so cool. Well, I'll message you my address, and then next Christmas, it's going to have I'm going to tell my husband what to put in there. He knows. I mean, after 30 years, he better know what I like.
It could hold a lot of yarn.
I was going to say, what kind of yarn should go in there?
Yeah, I mean, it could hold a lot of yarn.
I was thinking chocolate, but I'm like, both would be great.
Yeah. A bottle of wine, I'm sure that would fit.
I'm more of a whiskey gal, but yeah.
There you go, a bottle of whiskey.
At least, a little one anyway. So you've both been knitting like 4 or 5 years, maybe?
Yeah.
Probably, what is your favorite thing to knit currently? I mean, I know these things evolve and change as you learn. I mean, I know go ahead, dishcloths, washcloths.
No, we're currently both in a hat phase.
Okay.
We're knitting all of the hats.
All of the hats.
All of the hats.
Are you going to join us for the March knit along then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Because obviously you know how to do color work and intarsia stuff if you're doing the...
Yeah.
You just made Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, no, I am.
Yeah.
I have to learn how to, what is it? Is it pick and throw? Like if you're doing a lot of color work?
I'll show you. No, I'll show you. You don't have to do it both. Okay. You don't have to do both. Like I'm a thrower on the videos. You know, I'm a thrower. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you can learn to hold yarn in your left hand and then pick the other color. So you'd have one color in each hand. You can do that. You don't have to. You totally don't have to. It's not like a big requirement. It's a little faster to do that, but you can still, participate and get along just fine.
We can do it.
Totally. And didn't one of you make that, the Hardy ombre something? Yeah, that one. That's the little
ombre one. I don't have it with me. I get
No,
it.
it's okay. I just remembered seeing it at knit night,
Yeah.
But you did that.
That one, I did that one, yes. That was my first attempt.
That's great.
So that is Little Hearts Fair Isle.
Right. That's great. You could totally do it.
She can.
There we go.
You can.
Yeah. But yeah, we are big hat knitters right now. Like I'm working on this one.
So pretty.
Okay, show me that. What's that one called?
It's called Out for a Spin. Or wait, hold on. I think that might be a lie.
That might be a lie.
Yeah, no, that's right. Out for a Spin.
Okay. Out for a Spin.
By Short Stitch Designs. And this is actually kind of a crazy story. So we live in Illinois and I bought the pattern on Etsy and the girl sent the automated message thank you for buying the pattern, check out my website. And I go to her website and she lives 2 hours from us.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But anyway, yeah, the Out for a Spin. So it's like a mini cable.
And you're knitting that with what yarn?
The Cascade Pacific.
Okay. So what do you mean it's a mini cable? Are you actually cabling 1/1?
Yeah, it is 1/1. Okay. And so you cast on, you work it with 101 stitches, so you're continually moving over one in the pattern.
Right.
But
right.
it is, it's just 1/1.
So you're doing it without a cable needle then?
Yeah, her pattern, she tells you to slip 2 knitwise together. Flip 2 knitwise.
Okay, well, I might have to just try it while you tell me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think I'm going to have to do it while I tell you also.
All right. I'll just grab whatever and try it. Because I can always take it out.
So you slip 2 together knitwise.
Well, I got to untangle myself first.
Okay, that's fine.
Because this is, I mean, yeah, I kind of made a mess here. Like, I don't know where the end is. Oh, there. Okay. Such a spaz. All right. Good grief. Okay, should I get in the middle before I try this?
I mean,
should I get away from the edge of it?
I don't know. I'm knitting in the round, so I don't know.
Well, how about I'll just knit through like 5 stitches and then I know what. You know how on a shawl you always have your little yarn over on the edge?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm away from it and sufficiently away from the edge. All right.
So quick. Okay.
Well, it was only like 5, see?
Okay, still, I feel like you did it in like a half second. So
slip 2 knitwise.
Slip 2 knitwise, like slip 2 together, not like slip 1, slip 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now they're on your right needle, and then you slip them back together purlwise so that you twist them.
Okay. So put them back on the left needle.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, put them back on the left needle purl.
Yeah, that's all right. I got it. So I twisted them. Yeah.
And then you knit through the back loop for each one. Like knit through the back loop, knit through the back loop.
Okay.
And then you knit 2.
So let me see what all right. So you're not actually cable.
No, not quite, but it's almost.
It's a twisty maneuver that looks like a cable.
Yeah.
Huh. And this is called what? Remind our viewers?
Out for a spin.
Out for a spin. I'll go check that out. Is that a paid pattern or a free pattern?
I think it was like $2.
That's all right. No, it's fine. I have no problem at all paying for patterns.
Me either.
Yeah, but people do. People get all like in an uproar about it. I'm like, you're supporting artists. Come on now.
Yeah, the time that they give. Well, talk about the modification you made.
Oh, and I did make a modification to the brim. I love the folded brim where you do the provisional cast on and then fold up. So she has you do like a super long brim to fold up and wear like folded up.
Yeah.
But I just don't love that look always. So I did, the provisional folded up so that it's finished there.
You can't unroll that.
No.
Oh, but it's double thickness.
But it's double thickness, so it's warm.
Squishy. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my modification. I'll put that on my Ravelry.
I'm like tangled up here. Here we go. Okay.
That's pretty yarn.
That is pretty yarn.
This is hand spun. My mom spun that.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. I think I have one more of these, but this is the shawl. I'm just making this for my kids.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It's just it's a shaped thing so it doesn't keep falling off. Like I keep grabbing this up and yanking it over. This one won't do that. Okay, so do you have suggestions for the new March knit along?
I'm always open to trying new things. I love to try new things.
Jill's like, not so much.
You know what? But it's comfort knitting. And there is, it's better than therapy. And sometimes I don't want to think and I want to just be able to sit
Knit
and
a
do.
washcloth.
Well, that's what I'm doing. But yeah, true. But how many washcloths do you need?
Well, you give them away.
She gives a lot of washcloths away.
Well, right. But okay. So like, what is the cowl that you're wearing? What?
So this is the Gaptastic.
Gaptastic?
Gaptastic. Yes. And I apologize. I did not write.
I'll have to look it up.
All the patterns. Yeah. Oh no. I know that the yarn is Marble Chunky.
Okay. Right.
That's the yarn. Jen, I can look it up. Jen something is her last name, but it's the Gaptastic Cowl. It's just seed stitch.
Yeah.
When I was learning, that's
when you learned to purl.
When I learned to purl, you fix this one too. So it was just cast on 160.
It's kind of the same color-ish as what you're wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, yours I think is a little darker. Mine has quite a bit of blue.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's really pretty.
That is pretty. That one has like some deep purples and such in it.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. Well, and then it has different sections that are different themes.
Oh, that's really pretty.
And then the bottom is like that. It's called the Sprig of Hope by Robin somebody or another.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
That is.
And basically it's like wearing a big blanket.
Yeah.
Socially acceptable blankie.
I like it. I'm all about the blanket. Yeah. Cool. And so I agree about the comfort knitting. I mean, that's what this is really, because I only have to worry about, like, when I get to the marker, I only have to worry about one, like, little increase. And
Yeah.
it's definitely Netflix knitting for sure. Oh, let's talk about that. Netflix knitting. Oh, wait, I want to see what's in your hand first.
In my hand?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a hat.
Magic hat.
It's actually it's the Nice and Knit beanie.
Oh, right. Yep. Now, one of you had posted one of those a couple weeks ago. Right. Okay, so now you're making it.
So I made it for my husband.
Right.
And Jameson, her son, saw it and asked for one to match.
And you know, when a teenage boy asks for a hand knit, mama knits.
You do it. Yep. Yeah. How old is he?
He's 15.
Cool.
That's a pretty big deal to this mama. So
that's awesome. So what are you making it out of?
It's the Pacific Cascade blend. It's like,
that's great. No, that's good. That's good all-purpose stuff.
Yeah. So soft.
I love it. It's very soft. It's very pretty. I'll have to turn it inside out.
She knits her hats inside out.
I know. I don't know how I do it.
See this?
Oh, I know how you do it. I know what you're doing.
What is she doing?
Exactly what you're doing. Okay. All right. Look. Let me get it. Okay. I'm going to get a sock because it's similar, and I'll show you. Okay. Follow along with me. This is a common mistake, or I won't call.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I don't want to say it's a mistake, because if you understand why and you're doing it intentionally, then that's fine.
No.
However, you will jack yourself around with patterns if you.
Yes, because sometimes you set it down and you don't know where you are.
And then if I ever want to do a sweater, I thought, how in the world am I going to do a sleeve like this?
Okay, here's what's happening. When you're knitting, I'll bet that you're knitting on the needle. If you hold your project like this, are you knitting on the needle that's toward you or away from you? You're knitting on the needle that's away from you, aren't you?
Yeah.
See, and I'll bet you're knitting clockwise, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's the opposite. Okay, Lindsay, take that away from her for a second. Take it away from her for a second. Turn it inside out.
Oh, man.
Trust me, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. She can put it back if you don't like it. It's okay.
No,
okay.
I can learn how to do it the right way.
Okay, now, what you're going to do, make sure your working yarn is on the right-hand side. Okay, and you're going to knit across, thank you, yes. You're knit across the front on the side that's closest to you. And I know you're knitting on the round. There you go. Lindsay's doing it. You're knitting on the side closest to you, not the side away from you.
You're knitting with it over here. See how your needles are like closer to the computer?
Mm-hmm.
Like your working side is closer to the computer.
Uh-huh.
When we flip this out, your working side is closest to you.
You need to be knitting with the right.
But you still knit the same way. You still knit.
Yes. You knit the same way. Okay, Jill.
I'm sorry.
No, listen. You need to make sure, you know how there's a right side and wrong side of the fabric. You have the smooth side and the bumpy side.
Right.
Or the knit side and the purl side.
Yes.
You need to knit with the right side of the fabric, the knit side, out facing closest to you, and the needles. Now I have magic loop going on here, or double points or whatever. That has to be to you. You don't want to have anything between you and your needles you're working on. Okay, now Lindsay, give it back to her.
It's just literally the exact same way. It's literally the exact same.
Keep knitting. You're okay. Just keep knitting.
Knitting.
Just keep knitting. You can do it. You know you can.
It's so much faster.
Imagine that.
Because it's correct.
Huh. You don't have to keep turning it inside out to try it on either, or to look at it. Yeah. All the things I learned.
You want the right side facing you.
I can do it.
You're going across the needle from right to left.
Yes.
Which is important when you do charts. You got to know that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I don't know how she would have ever done a chart before. That would have been so confusing.
That's why if you just stick with hats and washcloths and the
But
occasional
some
stripe
hats
in a
need
hat.
charts.
Yeah.
This hat was a chart. Do you want to see another?
Yes.
Oh, we have all the hats.
So
Well,
we
yeah, that's your big, yeah, you showed that at Knit Night once.
I did show this in it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But not everybody, like, this is the public scene. See, that's super slouchy. That's cute.
Isn't that
Super
cute?
slouchy. It is. Yeah.
And tell us what yarn you made that from.
I don't remember.
Shame.
I'm so sorry. I knew you were going to ask. It's alpaca. That's as much
Nice.
information as I can tell you.
That's all right. Woo! And you have a stripey.
I do. And this is
Her favorite hat tonight.
This is my favorite hat because I have a coat that color, and who makes hats that color? I do.
You do.
This is the Neon Striped Hat by Emily Turcotte, Turcotte.
Nice. Oh, crap. Hang on. Dropped a stitch.
Uh-oh. Oh, but your experience, you can fix it quick.
I know, but I just have to look through the bottom of my glasses for a second.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're good. So,
And
yeah.
I know you're not really a palm person, which is fine.
No, but
I still grabs the hat with all the palms. Oh my gosh.
So there's an explanation to this one. That's a nice look. But my daughter dances, and for Christmas they had to do like a winter wonderland, and they had to have a hat with a scarf, and so
And
they're
Jill was
very
like,
up there.
I have to knit the hat.
So this is that. But what I thought was cool, and most people already know this, but it had never occurred to me. This is put on with a button, and so
It's
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't have any idea.
it's not even attached, so you can wash the hat real easily. So it was just a store-bought palm, and then I took a darning needle and put
Right.
that through it, and then
That's so clever.
so then what you do, and it's
just a bow.
tied,
Yeah.
not even stitched. So I just tied it on there, and it held.
Wow. That's really clever.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, that's cool. So you could even just change that out if she wanted to just have one in the center, you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
However, she really likes the 2 hot pink palms.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of Horton Hears a Who.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Lorax.
Oh, the black.
It is kind of Dr. Seuss-ish.
It is.
Well, I last night taught myself to make palms. So
Okay.
I know this one's a little crazy. It's my first one. So
I remember in the 70s when we learned how to make pom-poms out of like crazy, horrible red heart acrylic.
oh, like those kind of palms. This was just fabric.
Well, that was.
See, now that looks way better than what we did when we were kids.
I like that one.
That was from a palm maker, the Clover Pom Maker.
Yeah.
So that was.
We used to wind it around cardboard. Yeah. Huh. You know, back in the day when we walked to school uphill both ways. Oh, is that another neon stripy hat you just had?
Oh yes. So this was actually for my daughter, and then I liked hers so much, then I made.
That's cute.
I have a matching one of this.
Yeah.
That's cute. So what yarn is that? The Cascade?
That's the Plymouth.
No, this is the Plymouth Encore.
Okay,
worsted.
yep, sure.
Both of those are Plymouth Encore worsted. This the Winter Olympics last year. The snowboarders.
Yeah.
Is it Chloe Kim? Is that one of the?
Yeah.
Yes, the snowboarders. And my daughter saw the hat and thought, oh, Mom, I want that. I want that. So that's the Olympic inspiration.
Cool.
What's that one? It's a very. I don't wear. That's a very big.
Now, so do you live in, you said central, so it gets cold enough there for all this, right?
Oh, last week it was like
Well,
50 wind chill.
Yeah, you guys were in the crazy vortex of polar hatefulness last week.
Yes,
Yeah,
we were.
we
It
were.
was very cold.
Yeah. But normally, though, an average normal winter, it still snows quite a bit,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Mhm.
We get enough snow.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm working on, I don't have it with me because I'm not at home, but I'm working on the harvest cardigan with your,
Right? Okay.
I have to finish sleeves are just not my jam.
Well, they take forever. They feel like they take a long time.
I feel like I did the body of the sweater in like, because I did.
You did.
In like a week and a half.
It was very quick.
Right.
And I get so bored knitting the sleeves.
But see, I almost like the sleeve better because it's like you have, 7 rows and then a decrease and 7 rows and a decrease. So you have that to look forward to. So it's kind of incremental. But I mean, I get it. It is still tedious.
And I think my issue is I struggle to like finagle it. Like I feel like
yeah,
it's always everywhere. And so I just get so frustrated knitting it because I'm like, like twisting it all the time. So,
yeah, it is cumbersome. Yeah.
But I have enjoyed it. I want to finish. My goal was to finish it by the end of this month or last month. But then
this month, oh no, wait, last month.
Yeah, January. But then I started knitting all the hats.
Oh, I know. And so but Jill's pretty much project monogamous and you are not?
Not at all.
Well, okay, so I was saying earlier, that's where, all right, you're a harlot because you're not monogamous, you see. And that, right, you get it. And so that premise is there's a Canadian knitter blogger. She's just hilarious. It's called the Yarn Harlot, and her website is yarnharlot.ca for Canada, right? Okay. She's been blogging for probably 10 or 12 years, and she's so funny. Her real name is Stephanie Pearl McPhee, and she's written many books. She's written like 7 or 8 books about knitting.
Yeah.
Goes on, and there's like not really any patterns or anything. It's just super funny. And she even has like a speaking tour. She speaks at retreats and stuff. She's a riot. So, I mean, if you ever have a chance, you should see what you can find on YouTube, but she's very funny. So check out her blog anyway.
We're always looking for something to watch while we knit, like podcasty or anything. I love to watch anything.
So I started watching, okay. So my husband and I were recently talking about like when you watch TV shows, there's a lot of shows that I really like, but I think that we get as a society, and you would know this particularly as an elementary school principal, I think we get desensitized to all the media that we see, right? We get desensitized certainly to violence and sexual content and things that, even 20 years ago would not have been on prime time. Absolutely not. I mean, I come from the era of Saturday night was Wonderful World of Disney and Hee Haw. Okay. Like, I don't know, Lindsay probably wasn't born yet.
Well, with the Mandrell sisters. Yeah.
Right. And stuff that's on TV now, like I don't have TV. We don't pay for satellite. We don't have cable. We don't do that.
Yeah.
And we used to, so we do Netflix and, Hulu and whatever, but we're very intentional about what we watch because I don't like the commercials and all that. But even so, I have caught myself becoming more, I guess, desensitized. And then I realized, what am I putting on the hard drive here? What is all this that I'm watching? What am I seeing all the time? And is that productive? Is that healthy? Is that beneficial? And so the litmus test really is, does this enrich my life at all?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, and yes, knitting.
Right.
To me, knitting is a lot about relationships.
Yeah.
It's about the people that you've come
knit
to know
for.
through knitting,
Yeah.
and the people you knit for, the people you knit with,
right.
the people you learn from.
We knit together
a lot.
That's what we do when we get together.
Yeah.
We sit at the table and knit. And it's really funny because we'll look forward to knitting together all day. Like, oh, we can start knitting at whatever o'clock. And then we come over and we're knitting, and our husbands will come in and be like, so what were you so excited about? Because
we're not talking.
You're not talking.
Like
we're just sitting here knitting, but it's that relationship of we're doing this thing together.
Right. And I think that for me, a lot of the talking about Netflix knitting, we say that it's kind of the catchphrase.
Oh yeah.
And so I found the Agatha Christie, the Miss Marple series.
Oh.
And so that's back from like the early 80s. All right. So it's a murder mystery, but the thing is, they might show like the body, but it's not graphic. It's just someone laying on the floor, basically.
Yeah.
It's not graphic, and there's nothing. The whole rest of the series is about the sleuthing it out, the detective work, and the characters involved. But none of it's violent. Like, none of it's nasty, you know? And I realized, well, that's what I enjoy about those shows that I was watching. I don't care. I mean, the violence it's awful. But what I enjoy about those shows, partly the reason I would watch it is because of the detective part, the puzzle of it. That's what I wanted, was the puzzle part. So now I'm watching these like murder mysteries from the early 80s.
That's fun.
We do.
Yeah.
I do a lot of audiobooks.
Yes. Yeah.
In the car with my daughter. So we, worked our way through Little House on the Prairie.
Right. Oh, I have a suggestion for you. We were just talking about this, my kids and I, because we used to listen to audiobooks a lot when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's at the age yours is that she would probably, have you listened to the Clementine series?
No.
Oh my gosh, Clementine is absolutely hilarious. It's this girl who's like, in elementary school, and her father is she lives in a city, in an apartment building, and her father is the maintenance guy of this apartment building, and they, so they live there. And she has a cat, and the cat's name is Moisturizer.
Funny.
She has weird names for things, and she's just hilarious. The stuff that she does and the people that she encounters, the residents of the building that her father takes care of. Yeah. You should go check it out at the library I mean, I think we just got them on our state library download or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. The whole Clementine series is great.
Aww.
And she talks about like why her parents named her after a fruit.
Oh, that's funny.
And I forget what her brother's name is, but it's not a fruit or vegetable. Yeah. So what are you listening to right now?
With my daughter, I'm listening to Beezus and Ramona.
Oh, yes.
We're
awesome.
working our way through Ramona.
Ramona
We've done
books.
Ramona and her mother, Ramona and her father. Right now we're on Ramona Quimby, age 8. So
Yes.
that's what I'm doing with her. And then on my own, I'm reading one called The Art of Gathering. And it's I like a lot of nonfiction. And it's a little bit of science and a little bit of meaning, and just the thoughtfulness about when you bring people together, the purpose and the reason, and do the things that you organize really fit the purpose of what you are intending it to be. So
I might have to check that out. I have audible.com.
I do too. That's where I found it.
Yeah.
And I don't usually listen audiobooks while I'm knitting, because I usually watch a show, or I'm knitting, watching something with the kids or with the family. Like, we'll go watch old series of, dare I admit, back-ish episodes of Survivor from like 10 years ago. Because the kids think it's funny.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay, I have messed up my magic loopy thing here. Because I wasn't paying attention, I was talking. Happens all the time.
Magic.
So I'll go, but I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I'm walking, when I go on my daily walkabout. So I like adventure, like survival stories when I'm walking. Like, I was listening to one about a gal who, she hiked.
Being murdered on your walk?
What?
Does that not like scare you of being murdered on your walk?
No, I mean, like, no, adventure, survival stuff, like people that are, like on a solo hike of the Pacific Crest Trail, the Appalachian Trail, or no, I'm the biggest wuss ever. Like, I don't listen to horror stuff. No.
Okay, well, that's kind of what it made it seem like.
Trail.
No, adventure, like,
Okay, that makes
travel documentaries or things like that.
More sense.
Yeah.
Well,
So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So what are you watching? Like, are you have a good Netflix series going on?
I'm always watching Gilmore Girls. I am a huge, I don't know, I have watched it a million times. We watched it for the first time together, but not together. Like, because I'm a faster watcher. So
That's like saying I'm a faster reader. What do you mean you're a faster watcher?
It means she doesn't have children yet.
Oh, okay. I'm like, but it plays at the same speed. I'm not sure.
No, I mean, like, I am.
You don't get interrupted.
Yeah, and I'm a binger. Like, I will stay up way too late watching many episodes.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
did that
always
too,
watching
but I
Gilmore Girls. That's always on. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot. I'm a listener. I listen to so many podcasts.
So what are some of your favorite knitting podcasts? Like we talked about a little bit about Grocery Girls.
I like Grocery Girls.
Yep.
I like yours.
Thank you.
I like the Crazy Sock Lady.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I like her. I found her on Instagram and I didn't even realize she had a knitting podcast, but she has a YouTube channel. I don't know. I struggle sometimes with knitting podcasts because I listen a lot like in the car, or I just always have something on. I'm never not listening. And so sometimes with knitting podcasts, they're video, which is great. I love because you need to see what's happening.
Sure.
But when I'm driving, I can't.
Not a good idea. Right.
Yeah, I can't watch a knitting podcast. Right. So I really stick to kind of those three: Crazy Sock Lady, Purl Together, and Grocery Girls.
You have that face in the right way, don't you?
I do, and I'm knitting and talking, and
fine.
I am. Look at that.
I'm so proud.
New tricks.
Super proud.
Nice. So what is the fanciest, schmanciest, most expensive yarn you've ever knit with?
I love Malabrigo. It's soft and squishy. And I was gifted this Christmas a cashmere sock.
Oh.
We should go get it. Can I go get it?
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So is a cashmere sock yarn or a whole sock already made that's cashmere?
It is a cashmere sock yarn, with the suggestion that I do not use it to make socks.
Does it have merino and nylon in it as well?
I do not know.
You could. I mean, there's a blend called MCN. It's merino, cashmere, nylon.
Oh.
And it is very soft. But if you did make socks out of that, you'd probably want to do some reinforcing on the heel.
Very much so.
Yeah. And maybe even also the ball of your foot, because, where you're knitting, where you're wearing your holes in your slippers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for hand dyed too. I love just.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that's lovely. What is it? Read the label.
That's her smooshy cashmere sock.
Smooshy, is it Dream in Color Smooshy?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, but it's read on the label though, is it the merino cashmere nylon blend?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could totally do that. Just reinforce the heel.
Ah.
Or, you might want to knit a cowl,
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's so
or
good.
several hats. So that's cool. Yeah. So do you have a local yarn store?
So we have
Sorry.
So
yes.
So we have a local yarn store.
Like that wasn't designed to be a trick question.
No,
it's just a funny story.
We have a local yarn store. It's Becca from Knit Your Dreams.
Okay.
So that's a local yarn shop. And then I have a not so local yarn shop that's a couple hours away that I absolutely adore. And that one. And then we have the very local yarn shop, which is actually in a different part of the house. So it's
Jill
the stash
has a nice size stash of yarn.
Hey.
And the other day I was saying that I wanted to knit the Nice and Knit beanie for Hayden, my husband, and I was like, well, I don't know, I don't really have anything that would work for it. And she was like, well, the very local yarn shop might. And it was her basement. And so that's our little joke that we have the very local yarn shop.
Yeah, for sure. And so how do you store? That's one topic I'm going to make a video coming up is how you store your yarn, how you keep your yarn safe, and how you keep, right.
No, I don't care. Yeah. No, so that was just.
That looks like a bakery thing.
It is.
It's from Sam's.
It's like here. I don't know where I can set it that you can see it.
Oh, that's great.
It's from Sam's.
So this is all cotton.
Right. It's dishcloth knitting, yeah.
For all the dishcloths.
And then
so there's
that one.
So it can look pretty too. Functional. Because those aren't just for food.
Oh. Okay, that's cool. What is that?
It's kind of another bakery type thing.
Right. Show us some of what's in there.
Okay.
This is mostly Plymouth. Just the Encore Mega is in there. The Encore worsted. There's a Kramer.
Okay.
They're Kramer worsted. So the sock yarn is downstairs. So the other stuff is in a different place. What I have found is if I put it in a tub, then I might not remember where it is. So you can
see it.
I'm not a good raveler in the people that catalog all their yarn, so they know exactly what they have in their stash. So that when they go to see a pattern and they're at a local yarn store, they can say, oh yes, this works with whatever I have in my stash. And I'm not quite as good about that. So
I'm not either. I have skein upon skein upon skein that is not uploaded to my stash page.
I have nothing on my stash page.
Mm-mm. And so I figure if I can see it.
I don't think people need to know how much yarn I have.
Or what I have. I don't want them to know how much I spend on yarn.
Or how much I have.
So
I'm not sure my husband pays attention anymore.
Oh, that's good.
No, he doesn't care. He's totally supportive of. He benefits from it.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
he would never. Oh my word! Not even when I first started, he would never have said a word. I'd be like, "Really? Let's talk about how much crap you have."
That's funny.
No, he would have never. And in fairness, he's very supportive. He's always been super supportive, and like he doesn't even bat an eye when the mail comes. I don't think he even know. I mean, he just doesn't pay attention to that kind of thing. I mean, he realizes, but he also knows, okay, so all of this, he helped me pick that.
That's what,
Yeah, we went through the website and we went through and he picked the colors. He wrote.
I love those grays.
He's better at it than I am because he's an artist. Like he paints and he draws and he has a pottery studio.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So he's like color theory, like he understands all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, will you just do this? Just pick this for me. He's like, okay. And he wrote down the names and then I looked at him. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be great. Click, click, done. I would have agonized and I would have stressed and agonized over that. It's better that he picks it. Yeah.
Well, that's like us. I know that this is a knitting podcast.
That's fine.
We also quilt.
Yeah. Well, it is project bags.
What I want to know is we're going to talk about project bags and, in the groups on Facebook, we always keep it very knitting focused because the reason I've done that is because we have almost 3,000 members and we can't really promote, yours and not yours and whatever, but this is my podcast and I'm the boss. So I want to see what you've been making.
Okay.
So. And we need to know if you have like an Etsy store or if you, what if our viewers want to get their hands on this stuff? Can they?
I've thought about it. So if there's enough interest, I could potentially start an Etsy store, but we'll see.
Okay.
So we'll start with our smallest, our Notions bag. I made both of these.
And they're because I had stuff everywhere and they were in all sorts of little pockets and I kept every time we would knit, I would say, I just need a bag to put everything in.
So I made us Notion bags.
And those are lined too, aren't they?
They are lined. So mine has, Jill thinks they're creepy
eyes.
I think they're adorable. I think they're Kate Spade-like. I have these cute little eyes when I open mine up. I know. Jill thinks they're creepy too. I think they're cute. Jill's is plain.
Mine is plain because she knew that I didn't want something looking at me every time I opened my knit.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's fine. Side with Jill. I don't care. I like the eyes.
Now they do have the cute ones with the little eyelashes.
Yeah. So the eyelashes are cute. The eyelashes,
those ones are really cute.
We'll just cover up the eyes.
I like those.
But you got to do what's best for you.
Exactly, and it made me happy. So yeah, these are our little Notions bags. Keep all of our little notions in there.
And you were saying those are roughly 5x8, 4x7.
Yeah, 4x7. So, yep.
So big enough for your knit checker and your crochet hooks.
Yep, I keep a couple crochet hooks, my knit gauge, a couple pair of scissors, my knit,
Yeah, all the stuff.
Yeah, all of the stuff.
So,
all of the things.
yes.
Yep.
And so then we have Jill made both of these.
Oh, I did. Okay, we're looking.
Oh, you both? Wow.
So, well, I made this one, and then I gifted her that one. I like that one.
So this one says knit fast, dye warm.
I love that. And I like that kind of illustrative tattoo style.
Urban.
Yeah, that's like the old school kind of tattoo style.
And so this one is,
oh yeah, I like that inside.
Oh yeah, that's neat. That's cool.
And this one, this one's a really good size. This is my big set of crochet hooks.
Yep.
And I have a couple full size needles, and I keep a washcloth and my hat in here.
Yeah, it holds a lot.
So it holds, it's a really good size project bag.
And it's a canvas. It's out of more of a canvas, so it's really durable.
Right.
It's thin enough to be flexible, but durable enough. And so this is mine in the same version. Mine says "Make beautiful things."
That's cool. And you mentioned that you have an embroidery machine, and that's how you've done all that.
Yes. And so I purchased the designs from Urban Threads.
Okay.
Their little designs and made those. So that's those.
Do you ever make the square bottom ones?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I do. Oh, so like
that
these?
one's square bottom.
Well, or like the bigger zippy project bags.
I don't have one with me, but yeah, we've both made.
So those were the very beginning bags before I really knew about boxing the bottoms.
Right.
Now mine are that way.
Because you can set them down.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I ask about that is because if you were knitting 2 at a time socks, for example, and you had 2
my 2 at a time socks, that's how I have mine. Is in my.
And you turn the top down. You turn the top down, and you can set them side by side, and you have the box bottom.
On a video of yours.
Yeah.
Yay!
So that's how my 2 at a times are.
Yeah. So that and that's just one little polka dots. I love.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, yeah. I like that.
Jill uses all the polka dots.
Yes.
Aren't these zippers really hard?
I'm
afraid of zippers.
Well, I'm afraid of cables. So.
And I'm afraid of nothing.
Pretty much.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes. And then recently I have fallen in love with
the drawstring
one.
And I love it because you can cinch it and have your yarn come up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you can have whatever. This is a pair of soles. These
felted
are soles
soles
for the felted clogs that are in there. And the nice thing about this one is my 2 balls of yarn
sit flat, like you were just talking about, like the
box.
Yeah,
let me open that to see if I will need help.
Oh yeah, perfect.
So they sit there, and then you can knit right off of that. And I really like these because you just pull. And it comes in many sizes.
That pattern. When she bought that pattern, it has
I made sweater size ones for friends.
I have a sweater size one
because once you get a sweater, that's a considerable amount of bulk.
It is. Yes, because so you're doing the harvest cardigan, and you have the sweater size bag to go with it.
Sweater size bag. Yeah, I don't have it with me, of course, but
that's all right. It's great.
Yes. The other kind that I have not made yet that I would like to make yet are it's a 2-handle and one folds over the other, and I think people use it. People that walk and knit at the same time.
I'm not that. I don't think I'm that coordinated.
I could never walk and knit.
I don't, but some of my.
I could trip and knit.
Same.
Yeah. I don't think I lost my place here. I know.
So that's
there I am. Okay.
And then you have to have a place. You have to have a bag to put all your bags bags in.
And you have to have like the luggage duffel size to put all the other stuff.
Yeah. You can show yours first, and then I'll show mine.
Because this is one of the first ones. So Lindsay.
Wow, that's cool.
I made this one. This was a birthday gift.
It's gorgeous. So it's huge on the inside.
Wow.
But what I love about it, it has pockets everywhere.
All
but
throughout, like
different types of pockets. So right here, this pocket will allow me to put a pattern in and lay flat like that.
Right? Oh, that's cool. So is that Velcro or what am I seeing?
yeah, Velcro.
Here, let's fill it
This
up
is the-
so you
yeah.
can see. Let me put
all the bags.
all of the bags. Then
Oh my word, that's so
It's
cool.
huge. Yeah.
it's
It's
and
the
that's not
perfect
even full.
size. So, and then yes, it Velcros there.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see the thing that came over. Right.
Yeah.
And then that's big enough
I
for your,
mean, these are all pockets.
and that's big enough for your shoulder,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yep, all the way around her pockets. So if I'm going to take my knitting somewhere and I'm not sure which project I want to work on, I throw them
That's
all.
me. All take it all. Just take it all.
So
Because, you don't want to have. I have started calling it knitting anxiety. And what I don't mean anxiety about your knitting. I mean like
What am I going to work on?
being
what if I don't have
terrified.
anything?
Yes, being terrified that you'll show up somewhere and not have the project
Yes.
appropriate for the activity.
All of it show and tell. So, and that's nice because it just sits by my chair and I always have it. So
that is, and then mine is a little bit different. I am going to end up making myself another one of those. I do love this one, but I love that one too. So this is my most recent make for knitting bag.
Oh, you're right. You showed that on Knit Night.
So it has, again, shoulder.
Yeah.
It doesn't close, which is the thing that I don't love. And it's not as big. So
Well, it seems it's not quite as deep.
yeah. So I'm a little bit more limited.
Oh, it has a divider.
It does have a divider, and then it has side pockets on the inside, which is nice.
I can't even begin to wrap my mind around how that is constructed.
oh my goodness, they're a lot of work. That was a labor of love.
I'll just stick with the cables.
So yeah, this is my most recent.
That's fantastic. And you have a snappy pocket thing on the end.
Yes. So there's
Wow. I can't wrap my hand around where I don't even know where you'd start.
Cutting,
Beautiful
ironing.
fabric, just like beautiful yarn.
I'll just stick with what I know how to do.
So that's.
So is there some kind of a material in there that keeps?
So this one,
Mhm.
yes, this one it's called Flex Foam,
Okay.
and it is sewn to the outside, so to this fabric, so that it is. I mean, this is a very stable.
It's
Like if I push it down, it comes back up.
Okay.
Whereas that one, this is just fabric.
Right.
I mean, it has some interfacing, so it's a little thicker, but this one is and that's what I kind of liked more about this one was that it's very
Rigid.
but I like
Sure.
the size of this one better. It's more duffel baggy.
You could put that. I mean, that's fantastic. It's like reminds me of like the clowns in the Volkswagen. Right? I mean, you could just keep.
All of the projects.
You just keep pulling them out.
Yep.
Here's another WIP. Here's another WIP.
It's a whip and a whip and a whip.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of whips.
So.
And food. You could have snacks in there.
Yep. Right in.
You could build in an insulated compartment.
To do.
That's a really good idea.
You could like have your bottle of whatever in there too.
Here on the side, water bottle compartment.
Yep.
Well, or that.
If I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have open liquor in the car.
Illinois.
Oh. Well, okay. But you're gonna get where you're going, right?
And you want it to be cold.
Oh,
Yeah.
So what's next for your next? What do you have like on your Ravelry queue? Hats and more hats? Or are you gonna do some shawls and things, or what?
We bought matching yarn to do the blue sand cardigan. Do you not know blue sand?
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. It's striped and has different I don't know how to explain it. It's beautiful. So we both have the cotton to do.
Okay. So is the yarn all cotton or is it a cotton blend?
cotton acrylic blend? It's creamer.
I'm not certain.
I can go down and get it.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because if you're knitting a cardigan in a cotton, it won't hold its shape unless it's blended with something.
I think it is blended.
So it must be.
This is.
Oh, I might want to do that.
The nice thing, there were 63 pages of pictures. So we went through and I
I'm
figured
gonna
out.
go get the yarn.
I figured out which ones I liked and which ones I didn't. And then what I found out was everything I liked was done in a cotton blend just because of the way that it hung. And then you can also wear it in the summer. If you're wearing a tank top or something like that, it's a lot lighter to put on.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So you are starting this when? Are you having like your own little cast on party?
We will see. We will see. I will probably cast on when Lindsay says
when Lindsay makes you.
No more choice. When Lindsay makes me, yes, exactly. So
It's cotton acrylic.
it's cotton acrylic.
So Jill says she'll cast on when Lindsay makes me.
Oh, I'm gonna make her.
Yeah. So
Okay.
here's what I want to know, because obviously you guys knit together a great deal. Oh, that's your stripes colors?
So this is navy. It looks black, but it's navy.
Okay.
And this is our lavender.
The contrast across the top.
And then this white is the main.
And so you both have the same colors or no?
No, we both have the same colors.
We both got the same colors.
So here's what I want to know. Obviously, you're bonded. You knit together. You're like, how did you meet?
I can tell this story. So I met Jill's husband first working on political campaigns and through work. And I ended up moving from my hometown to where I am now, which is where they're from.
Okay.
And I started hanging out and babysitting for Jill, for their 2 kids.
Right.
And then I ended up being over here more than I was at home. They became 100% my family.
Yeah.
I might start crying.
Oh.
I got to know that. I mean, the end
And
story.
so,
Yeah.
I'm moving back to my hometown, which is
I wasn't going to bring that up, but okay. And I'm like, how's this going to affect the knitting sister bond here? And
Yeah. It'll be fine.
it'll be fine. It'll just be
fine.
different. We can FaceTime knit. We've already practiced.
that's good.
And it's only 45. It's an hour. It's not far from. We're not going to be that
Too far for her to fix my knitting.
It's closer than you are to your local yarn store. So
Right. But I don't just pop over there every day.
I know.
No.
I know. So it'll be different, but it'll still be.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay. There's weekends and, it's all right.
And there's holidays and there's FaceTime.
Perfect.
Okay, so first I want to know, you told us your sweater's next. Is that like truly next? Or you have several whips to finish up?
I have several things I need to finish up first.
Okay.
I have the cup of tea socks I'm still working on.
Okay.
I have Hermione's socks that I'm still working on. I need to finish my harvest cardigan.
I've got a gray washcloth and a light gray washcloth and a blue washcloth.
I want to finish the harvest cardigan before I cast
Okay.
on.
So Jill, are you gonna do the Afghan squares with me?
They're cables.
I know. You're thinking maybe not?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
This is peer pressure. For a monogamous knitter,
I'm working on
Okay. Well, and here's the thing about it. I always say to people, it'll be there. The YouTube videos will be there. So if you decide a year from now that you want to start, it'll be there.
it. And that's kind of where I am right now. I have not started.
Hey.
Yeah. I haven't started block 1. I've watched the videos, but I have to
Yeah, my
finish.
sickly video, right?
I have to finish my harvest cardigan.
There's no pressure. It's like we did the harvest
I know.
summer.
I know, and I remember I watched along people in the group. So I'm happy to be doing it now. So.
And it's fun. And if you have questions, everybody's still there. We can all still remember what we did, hopefully, and help you, right?
I should have done that one.
But it's still around. It'll be okay. It's okay. All right. Well, Jill and Lindsay, you're delightful. I'm really glad you had time in your week to visit for a little while. So we'll definitely have to have you back. And I want to see some more of those bags. And we'll have to talk about that later too. But thanks for joining me. I appreciate having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's